This is a people industry, and if you as an owner don't like people, you will employ staff that don't like people, and that is just hopeless. So who do you want to attract to your establishment? Because that determines what kind of food you're going to offer. So go and have a good look round at all the other establishments and see the kind of prices that they're offering and the kind of offer that they're offering. Then go back and sit down and think of the kind of things that people would like. There's no point in having good food, local food, if you don't tell the public what you're actually doing. So on your menus, one of the strongest things I think is to say exactly where the food comes from. So if it comes from Mr. Smith, your local butcher, say your sausages come from Mr. Smith, the local butcher. If your veggies are coming from a local farm or a farm shop, put that on it. It's cross-marketing, and it makes your supplier feel good, but also it's telling your people where they come from. Maybe take your waiting staff out to some of your suppliers and show them how the cheese is made, or take them to visit where your beef comes from so they can actually see the cows, or do something or get suppliers in to have a little chat with them about your various products. I think it's really important because they need to spread the message to other people as well, to your customers, about where your produce is coming from. People judge your kitchen by your toilet. So if your toilet is looking grubby, empty, no loo paper, dirty nappies in the bin, they think your kitchen is going to look something similar to that. A specials board is a great way of either using up produce that you need to use or trying out a new product. So we can trial it and just see how it goes. And some of the things that I think are absolutely lovely, people don't buy. So I think, oh, blimmin' heck, take that off, and we won't try that. On our standard menus, which go on the table, we have fairly standard. They change a little bit seasonally, so we'll take off soup and a sandwich in the summer, but we'll put on a salad. If you're losing money, the usual two things that can be going wrong is that either what you're producing on your menu is too time-consuming for your chefs, or your portion sizes are completely wrong. And it's really, really interesting because one person, if you leave a piece of cake out and the girls behind the counter are cutting pieces of cake, one girl's idea of a portion is completely different to another person's idea of a proportion. So you can actually find that there can be double the size. So just make sure your portion control is really good. So get your cake cutters that go onto the top of a cake, and they will imprint how many slices there are on a cake, and that's really simple. Make sure your chefs are using 1 tablespoon of coleslaw, not 2. The side salad is the right size and is equal all the time. You can even use it with photos. Put photos up on your wall. If your chefs aren't particularly brilliant, then they can see what they're meant to be doing and what the plate's meant to look like, and it's like an idiot's guide to producing food, and it makes sure that everything's consistent and your costing is consistent. I share my reports with all my managers, and we have a meeting every Tuesday morning and share. They bring me all the figures, so they've got the figures in their heads. Average sales are very important, which you can monitor, because an average sale doesn't matter whether your week is appalling or good. You're trying to get the money out of that individual person, and that's a really good indicator as to how you're doing. And you compare it year on year as well. We also compare this week last year with this week this year, and take account of the weather, because we are, as a business, are quite weather dependent. You've got to know which way you're going. Your staff have got to know which way you're going. I remember saying to them a while ago, we set them a target. I said, I want this as an average every week. And they looked at me as though I was from outer space. And a year later, we're achieving that target. And one of the girls said to me, we've got there, haven't we? And I said, yes, we have, because we were aiming high and we've got high, but you didn't know that. And if I hadn't told you where we were aiming, we would have just sallied along the same as we always were. In terms of profit margin, then your coffees and your teas are your biggest seller. And if you can serve proper tea and coffee, cappuccinos, not a push button, then it makes all the difference, and the profit margin is huge. Our location is not brilliant, it's not on a main road, it's a bit out of the way, so we've got to become a destination and make people stay here a little bit longer, because the longer they stay, the more they pay.